Welcome to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I'm your host, Florida native and real estate ninja, Donnie Hathaway. I started this podcast because I'm extremely passionate about connecting you with the people and the local businesses that make Palm Harbor so special. Palm Harbor, Florida is a great place to live, work, and play. It has everything you could dream of, from the food, the outdoors, the lifestyle, to the people in the community. I wanted to create a podcast that connected the community and inspired everyone to live better. To join this community and stay up to date on all things Palm Harbor, visit my website, it's palmharborlocal.com, and sign up there to join the locals. And remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local. What is up, Palm Harbor? We are back for another episode of Palm Harbor Local, another solo cast here today. So just me on the podcast. And, I enjoy doing the solo cast because I get to kind of talk about different things that I like to discuss and that I think that you guys like to hear as well. And, going into a little bit more depth on some of those things as well. And so obviously, if you've listened to, several episodes of the podcast, you know that most of the episodes that we have are interview style, where we're interviewing local business owners and learning more about them, learning more about their story, what they do, why they do what they do, kind of how they got started. I'm super curious about that, and I love being able to share that with you. But like I said, I also enjoy these solo casts. And so for this one, I was trying to think about, what did I want to talk about? What could I talk about that I thought that that you would be interested in hearing and kind of learning more about? And one of the in every interview that I do with someone who's local, um I have one question that I ask them at the end of each episode, and that is if they are have if they're not working and they have downtime, free time. I'm curious what it is that they are doing, where are they going, if they have all the time to themselves. What restaurant they going to, where they going to eat, where they going, what park they going to, what's their favorite local spot. Um, and if they only had to pick one, now oftentimes they pick more than one, but if they have to pick one, where are you going when you're not working or you're not with your family or with your family? But so I wanted to expand on that and talk about my favorite spots, my Palm Harbor hidden gems. And that's what we're going to do today. We've got a couple different categories that we're going to discuss. And I'll share with you some of my hidden gems. Now, some of them aren't going to be hidden, but maybe there's certain aspects that you didn't know about before with some of them, or maybe, like a restaurant, like some food item that was that's not very common or popular. That's really good. So let's get into it. So, the different categories that we're going to talk about: food, obviously, food for my wife and I. We love being able to visit some of the local restaurants, and I think that's what really got us started. When I think back into the small business owner and just being curious about the local business and their story and that sort of stuff, it all started from local restaurants. Growing up, we used to always visit the chain restaurants. So my wife and I made a decision early on, like, hey, we're just going to support the locals. And besides, they're making really, really good food. So why wouldn't we go and visit these local restaurants? So we're talking about food, sunsets. Obviously, being in Florida, a lot of people move to Florida because of the sunsets, because of the weather. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite spots to watch the sunset. And all of these places are within Palm Harbor. I'm sticking within Palm Harbor and not going out. There's some great spots. In great restaurants, obviously, just outside of Palm Harbor, but we're going to stick to just Palm Harbor for this episode. So food, sunsets, the outdoors. We have a great outdoor scene. Obviously, the beaches is a popular um, outdoor place to visit. I guess if that's how you want to say it. But we're gonna talk about one of my favorite places to get outdoors. Shopping. I'm not one that's big on shopping, but that we do have some cool little local shops here and boutiques and that sort of stuff. So we'll talk about one of my favorites there. And then coffee. Uh, I love coffee. If I have coffee every single morning. For those of you who don't know, I used to work at Starbucks for 5 years or so. Kind of in and around my college years. So that's kind of sort of my passion for coffee, but really enjoy just a good cup of coffee or a good Americano. So we'll talk about one of my favorite shops in Palm Harbor. So that's what we're going to talk about. Let's jump right into it. Back at the top, the food. One of my favorite restaurants to visit right now. Now, this can change from time to time. So maybe I'll do this episode again and next year, and things might be a little bit different. But um, pizza, man, I love a good pizza right now. Oven fired, wood fired pizza. So Fireside Pizza Cafe right there in downtown Palm Harbor. They have some of the best pizza in our area, and we get the same thing every time we go. Right? It's a margarita pizza, add some pepperoni on top, and we get their fireside salad, and it's perfect. It's all you need. It's so delicious. It's fresh. It's clean, and one of our favorite things to eat. Fireside Pizza Cafe. They have some great wings as well. So definitely try some other things on their menu. They definitely have more than pizza, some good sandwiches and whatnot. But Fireside Pizza Cafe, for me right now, is number one in Palm Harbor when it comes to food. If I'm picking one spot, I'm going to Fireside Pizza Cafe. What's up, Palm Harbor? It's your host, Donnie Hathaway. If you are looking to stay up to date with all things Palm Harbor, then visit my website. It's palmharborlocal.com. Super simple. You can sign up there, join the locals, where I'll be sharing more information on local events, local history, and what's happening in Palm Harbor. I really want to create and add more value to you as a listener for spending your valuable time tuning into my podcast. So join me there, keep listening, and remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local. All right, so jumping into sunsets, this might be my favorite spot in the whole area to watch a sunset, but that's Crystal Beach. We own a short-term rental property in Crystal Beach, and it's just kind of like grown my love and passion for this little community. But they have a park there called Live Oak Park. It's a waterfront park. You can jump in the water if you want. It's not a sandy beach or anything like that, but um, it's a great spot to pull up a lawn chair or just sit on the grass and the lawn and watch the sunset. It's absolutely beautiful. Most of a lot of people from the community are going to be out there as well. Sometimes there's some people playing music out there, so it's just a really cool experience to watch the sunset. That's not your typical I'm on the beach watching the sunset. It's a great spot to kind of to feel like a local and watch the sunset. And they have a little um, seashell trail along the water too. So that backs up to like some of the people's homes, but it's along the mangrove coastline there. That's a great spot to kind of walk and kind of explore and see a little bit more of Crystal Beach as well. So Live Oak Park in Crystal Beach, that's where I'm going to watch the sunset. Outdoors, I think my favorite, John Chestnut Park in Palm Harbor. So it's on the East Lake side of Palm Harbor, but it's just a great park because there's really so much to do there, and the wildlife there. You're almost guaranteed to see a deer if you go there and walk around and spend 30 minutes there in the park. There's a dog park up front. There's a playground for the kids. There's a softball, big open field for kids to run around in, or for any families that want to have a party there. There's just a lot of great options there. And then some of the trails that take you back into the woods of John Chestnut Park are pretty cool too, where you just kind of feel secluded and in the woods, but it's just a really cool scene and great place to kind of get outdoors. So lots to do there, I think, for that reason. Obviously, being off of Lake Tarpon, right? So you have boat access. If you like kayaking, you can take a kayak out there. I mean, biking, you can run through the park. Um, there's just a lot to like about John Chestnut Park. So if I have one spot to pick and I want to be outdoors and kind of feel away from people or whatever, I'm going to John Chestnut Park. Now, shopping, like I said, I'm not big on shopping. It's not something I care to do a lot of, but like I said, we do have a lot of cool boutiques and small little shops in and around Palm Harbor. One of my favorites, just because of the um, what's the word I'm looking for? Variety, I guess, is Antiques and Uniques in Ozona. That's another great area of Palm Harbor. But Antiques and Uniques in Ozona, they've got some local vendors there. They do like a weekend market from time to time where other vendors come in and set up in the back parking lot. But they just have a lot of really cool stuff from local artists, just stuff around town and antique stuff, obviously things that relate to the history of our area in the citrus farms and that sort of stuff. So there's just a lot of cool things to kind of take a look at, whether you're, need something specific or you just want to go and kind of check out, see what they have for your home, for your business, whatever it is. It's a really cool spot to go check out. So stop by there on the weekend. Antiques and Uniques in Ozona. All right, the last category that we're going to talk about is coffee. And for a while, Palm Harbor didn't have any kind of local coffee shops. It was really just kind of Starbucks. But that's changed recently. We have a few of them now. And my favorite is the Fix Coffee and Vino in kind of like the downtown area of Palm Harbor, right off Alternate 19. But they really truly have like some of the best coffee I've ever had. And I'm not just saying that because it's in Palm Harbor, but um, some of these little um, local coffee shops really make good coffee. Like I said, I used to work at Starbucks for a long time, so that's kind of where my love for coffee developed. But I really just enjoyed just a simple black coffee or Americano. And you can definitely tell a difference between good coffee and people who are doing it right, and those that aren't. In the Fixed Coffee and Vino in Palm Harbor is doing it right. So those are some of my hidden gems. Um, Food, sunset, outdoor shops, coffee. I would love to hear what are some of yours? If you have any spots that you love going to in any of those categories, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to get feedback from you guys, and maybe there's a spot that I'm missing that I haven't seen. I grew up in this area, so there's a lot that I have seen and am aware of, but I've also realized kind of through my real estate endeavors that there's a lot in Palm Harbor and in our, this Pinellas County community that I haven't seen either. So I'm always interested to learn more and hear some of your favorites as well. So if you got some, put them in the comments below and leave us a 5-star review. If you're enjoying this podcast, share it with your friends and family. We appreciate the 5 stars. That definitely just helps us gain more exposure and get more exposure for our local business owners and our community, Palm Harbor. So leave us a 5 stars, share it with your friends and family, and we appreciate you listening. So keep it up. Thank you. And those are my Palm Harbor hidden gems. See you next time. Thank you again for listening to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I really hope you got a ton of value out of today's episode. Now, if you're looking to connect with the guest or just get more information on the episode, then you can check the description below. I'll have all the links in the episode as well as a link back to my website. It's palmharborlocal.com, where you can stay up to date on what's going on with the podcast and sign up there to join the locals. Let's get after it this week, and remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local.